We'll get the music in a second. Oh man. Okay, hey, all right. I think we're live, right? Is the thing working? All right. Oh yeah, we're getting the sign from our producer, Dr. Simi, back here. He's letting us know that we're live and we're ready to go. So, with that being said, guys, welcome to José Novelo. Welcome to the show, and then welcome José Novelo.
Hi guys. Thank you for having me again. Thank you, and thank you guys for watching this episode.
This live stream, right?
Yeah,
Live stream episode,
yeah.
Hells yeah. Today, actually, we're going to be talking about real estate. That's right. I know a lot of you guys, it's one of the most important topics because, well, you need to, if you're moving here, you need to find a place to live, whether you're going to be renting or buying, and we're going to be talking about all of that, all your options, what everything you need to know, okay? Literally everything you need to know, and then some about real estate, okay? So, before we get started, since this is a live stream and we have to wait for people to get in and, shuffle into their seats and yada, 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 we're going to just, I'm just going to move to it and then, I'll talk as I do that. All right, so we're going to be showing you some beautiful pictures of Mexico, all right? As we wait, okay, we're going to wait a few minutes, wait for everybody to get into their seats. If you have any questions, you can go right on ahead and ask them. We're going to be doing an open Q&A as well. So I got a bunch of questions for him, and we got a bunch of questions, that you guys can ask as well, and we can go from there. So, all right, guys, give us a few minutes while we wait for everybody to get in their seats, and we'll get started and talk about real estate. You excited?
Yeah.
You excited?
Damn, yeah.
All right, hells yeah. All right, let's do it. let's get into it, guys. All right. I know a lot of you guys are waiting out there, and a lot of you guys are gonna eventually just end up watching this on repeat whatever, you know what I mean? When we replay it later on, okay?
Right.
But we're gonna get into it now because, again, I know there's a lot of people waiting, and we want to make sure we can start getting into it, okay? So now we took a quick little poll here, all right, on the live stream, and basically I asked, do you plan on buying or renting when moving to Mexico? And it's about 60-40. It's 64 to 36. Renting over buying. So it's basically 60-40, all right? Where, most of you guys are interested in renting, but everyone, it's basically 50-50, all right? But yeah, like we were discussing at the end of the day, everyone's going to need to rent no matter what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as Anthony in the chat, shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way, but as Anthony in the chat was saying that, rent for a year and then you eventually, buy a place. You'll find a place,
Right.
Yeah, because...
feel the place first.
Yeah, because, depending on the city you're going to move into or the area you're going to move into, you're going to want to know the neighborhoods, the areas, and eventually find the right place for you. Mm-hmm. So, with that said, let's get into the whole renting. Let's just get into it, okay? So, how does it work, all right? So, I am Joe Schmo.
Okay.
All right? And I'm I just got off the boat or the plane, right?
Okay.
And I'm here and I need help renting a place, all right? I'm on my tourist visa and I need to rent a place, but I want to move here, all right? I got my tourist visa 6 months, but hey, I said I got my...
Your plan is to stay.
Yeah, I got my bag, I got my kids, I got the whole thing. I got the U-Haul, filled, with all the stuff from home. By the way, is there a U-Haul in Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So I got my U-Haul filled with everything, and that's it. We're here to stay. We're here to... So, but we need to rent the place first. So, how's that work? I mean, okay.
Well, okay. First, yes, you can rent with a tourist visa or an FMM. That's the real name, FMM. But we were just chatting before going live that there are some owners that won't sign you a rental contract for a year, and the reason is simple. The FMM, if you're lucky, you'll get 180 days. Okay, 6 months of a tourist visa. And what would happen if after 180 days you leave the country? Because there's no guarantee that you'll stay, or at least that you'll stay in this city. Probably you decide to move to, I don't know, Campeche.
Right. And there's no guarantee on the guy renting.
Exactly. So an owner signing a 1 year rental contract, I don't see that happening a lot. Because if you leave the house, it just boom, disappear. The owner is stuck with 1 year of rental contract. And what could happen is if, let's say you leave the house and then you decide to come back 3 months after, that contract's still valid,
Right.
So he or she, the owner, has a problem, and you don't.
Yeah.
Basically, you don't have any problems.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, if you do find a rental, on a tourist visa, it's going to be like a 6 month rental. And the thing is, it's like when I first moved here, which by the way, you can also find these people out there, these renters out there, these landlords out there that basically they'll rent you on a month-to-month basis, or they'll rent you on a tourist visa, no problem, because they know that you're going to be there 6 months. But hey, it's at least a 6 month lease guaranteed and all that good stuff. But they won't give you anything over a year lease because, again, they don't know. There's no guarantee that you're going to stay, that you're going to go renew your visa or anything like that. And so, but at the end of the day, it's not like it's impossible to rent. It's just it's just that at the end of the day, it's just might be a little bit more difficult, but it's not. It's not out of the ordinary for people to get a place rented, right? For someone to rent it on a tourist visa.
Exactly, and there's this document we have here, especially in the Yucatan. It's called pagaré. Well, a pagaré, it's valid in all around Mexico from coast to coast. But basically, it's a document saying that I already owe you X amount of money. So each month you pay, then you get your paper back and your signature.
Yeah.
Okay, now, but again, you can sign anything. Because probably if you're on a tourist visa, you don't have a bank account.
Yeah.
Probably you don't own a car. Or if you do own a car, then that can be used as collateral. Okay, and so don't be surprised if the owner gives you this document called pagaré.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pagaré, that's what I have. That's what because even though I'm on
I owe you.
Yeah. It's like even though I'm a permanent residency, still, they don't.
Right.
I'm not a Mexican citizen, which is very different.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that in a second. But long story short, whenever you do sign a lease, with somebody, no matter how long that lease is, you're going to be given this pagaré thing. And so, what is a pagaré? Basically, as he was saying, it's something separate to the contract. You're going to sign your contract,
Yep.
for renting the place for a year, 2 years, a month, 6 months, whatever. But on top of that, you're going to have to sign. Let's say the lease is for 12 months. You're going to have to sign 12 receipts.
Yes.
AKA each one is a pagaré, right?
Yeah.
And so these 12 receipts are basically saying that you pay, what is it that you are
that I owe you this amount of money.
Right.
If, for example, your rental is 5,000 pesos per month. Okay, you sign 12 of those. So each month you owe me 5,000 pesos.
Yeah, so when you sign all 12 of those, you literally owe 12 times 5,000, which is
Right,
whatever
like
that is.
12.
30?
No, that's shit. Sorry. Can I say
12 times 5 is 60.
60.
So 60,000
Sorry.
pesos. So basically, you're on the hook for 60,000 pesos, but you pay it off every month with a 5,000 peso.
That's
Okay,
right.
so what
and
happens
each month you get your pagaré back.
So
One.
every month when
Yeah.
when you pay your rent, you give them cash or you give them electronic payment, however you pay it, but then they give you the receipt, which is the paper you had already signed, which
That's
is
right.
the pagaré, the receipt, the IOU.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, so some of you might ask, there's no reason then to sign a contract and a pagaré because once was just to get your monthly rentals but there's no reason for the contract, right? There is a reason,
Yeah.
and an important reason to have a rental contract. Well, the contract stipulates what can the owner do or cannot, and what you're allowed to do and you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, basically, look, again, the contract is just like a contract back home. Basically, again,
Exactly.
The same exact thing. What
Who pays for this? Who pays for that? Blah, blah, blah.
everything. Because there's some places, that will include the furniture. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you gotta, make sure you return it in the same, whatever
Conditions and all that. Mhm.
Sometimes they will pay for utilities. Sometimes they won't. And all these things. Whether you can have parties in the house or not, or a business in the house or not, or whatever. All that's in the contract. And the pagaré, the 12 papers, all that is an IOU. That's just to protect them. That's it. You know what I mean? And honestly, to protect you because now you have a receipt that you paid.
That's right.
Every month. All right. So, and then they have a receipt that you owe them for X amount of months. So that's basically how that works.
And there's no surprises.
Right.
After 6 months, you know what? The rent now it's 10,000 pesos. No, because you have this 5,000 pesos receipts
Right.
for 1 year.
Right.
Okay, so it is important. It does help or protects both parties.
Right.
Now, one more thing that you might be asking, because I've seen this happen before. Clients calling me and saying, "Hey, I'm renting this place, or I want to rent this place, and I just received this contract or this project. They want me to sign this, and it's in Spanish." Well, guys, the best thing for you if you're signing a contract is to have it in Spanish and English. The thing is, here in Mexico, to make it legal, must be in Spanish. Okay, so if you don't get a translation, just ask your realtor to make you one, or to have it, 2 columns, same paper, 2 columns, so you can see what you're agreeing to. Okay, I've seen this happen before. Clients calling me and saying, "Hey, I already signed this, and I already signed this 12 pagares, and I don't know what I just did, and because I don't know, there's a leak on the roof. Who pays for that? Does the owner pay for that, or do I pay for that? And my answer is always the same. What does the contract says?
Right.
And if the contract says that all maintenance is on you,
it's on you.
It's on you.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. So, and by the way, so you said if the realtor that would be representing you in this case, but let's just say that somebody out there, they find a place, a rental, but it's not a realtor. So they need, like, let's say a notary or a lawyer or somebody to help them with the translation.
That's right.
Or the legal, preparation of these papers, because, for example, maybe you don't trust them, to prepare the contract. So you want somebody, to do it for you. Do you recommend anybody? Do you know anybody that can help you with all that?
You're looking at it.
Okay. So long story short, so if you need help with any of that, you can always reach out to him. And again, there's other, plenty of people that can help you out with this, all right? But in case you do need that, all right, you need someone to help you translate, you need someone to help you prepare it, you need someone to represent you, all that stuff.
Right.
You got him. Okay?
Yeah. If you have a realtor, and I'm sure you trust your realtor.
Right.
And he or she will be able to help you with the contract.
Correct. But just in case you don't, because
for
example, there's some of you guys out there that speak Spanish, or whatever. You have a spouse that speaks Spanish, whatever, and you might just be able to find. You're driving around a neighborhood, you see a number, and you call that number, right? Yeah. And so there's no realtor, for example, maybe for there. It's just a direct buy owner. So. Again, as much as you want to trust the owner, you don't know who that is, just like they don't know who you are. So, I'm sure they'll have their lawyers, and maybe you need a lawyer, okay? And if you do, there you go. All right, there, a little shameless plug, right? Okay, so let's continue with the rental. Since, we're already on this topic, let's just finish it off, and then we'll move on to the buying of the house and all that. Buying a property, all that good stuff. Okay, so typically, when I'm gonna rent a place, okay, besides the pagaré, besides the contract, that we talked about, what else do I need? Do I really need a lawyer? Is it a notary? How does that work? What is that? Because I myself am confused and like.
Well, I do recommend if you're signing a 6 months, a 12 months rental contract, or 2-year rental contract, I do recommend everyone to hire or to pay for a notary, to get that contract certified. And the reason is simple. A notary here in Mexico, I know most of you guys already know the importance, how important is a notary here in Mexico.
Well, how about this? They don't, because a notary in the U.S. is a little different, and the people watching don't know. The people that, remember, some of the clients and some people we know, they do know, but right now, so like, remember, imagine nobody knows out there. So, so what is a notary? That's why I asked you, because what is a notary here? Because back home, it's more, it's not a notary, right? I think it's a lawyer. Anyway, so how do you do it in Mexico?
Yeah, exactly. Because I was going to get to that, because I have clients that when I send the budget or my estimate on the contract, they say, "What? This much for a notary?" A notary in the U.S. and Canada, it's like $20. I know.
Yeah. Because a notary back home is just a stamp and that's it, or something.
Here in Mexico, a notary is an attorney with 10 plus years of experience, certified by the federal government. With they must have a bond, a guarantee, a bond, a company backing them up. Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, so a notary is a big deal here. Okay.
Huge deal. Yeah. And the reason it's a huge deal is if they sign and stamp a document, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like if.
God himself did it.
That's it.
Okay. So
there's no backing up. You take that paper back if something happens between you and the owner, or if you're the owner, because probably some of you guys watching own a place here and you want to rent. So you take that document, you take that contract to a judge, to a court, and it goes like that.
Okay.
That's the difference.
That's the importance, yeah.
When you sign a contract, just a private contract between you and I, yeah, you can take that contract to the judge, but it will take a little bit more time.
Right.
When it has, when that document has, or if that document has a stamp and a notary's signature on it,
done deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as a judge sees it, that's it. Judge, the judgment of whatever says everything.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that. So basically, okay, so you wouldn't even get a lawyer per se, right, to do that. You get a notary.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need it. You need a notary, yes or yes, but you can hire an attorney to take care of everything. I mean, the contract and all that stuff, and take that contract back to the notary. All right.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Or
an attorney is almost like a middleman. You take it to the notary, get it all done, and it's backwards here. It's a little different. Okay,
or you can go directly to a notary.
Yeah. Okay.
If you go directly to the notary and you ask him or anyone from his staff or her staff to do the contract, you'll be fine. Here in the Yucatan, I think we have like maybe 2 or 3 notaries that speak English. Okay. But I would say like 90% of notaries' offices have someone that speaks English.
Okay.
So you need to contact that person, all right? Or you can hire an attorney to take care of the contract, to take care of negotiations with the owner, and take that contract back to the notary. That's up to you.
Interesting. I didn't even know all that. I'm learning myself. Okay, so you can go and get a notary yourself, but it's pretty difficult in a sense. I mean, it can get you can do it, it can get done, but I mean, you're probably gonna have to end up hiring somebody anyway to reach out to the notary.
Right.
And again, you're not even reaching out to the notary; you're reaching out to their assistant or what have you.
That's right.
It's like this whole thing, this bureaucracy, right?
And you'll have to go there almost every day or every second day.
But again, reaching out to a lawyer. Okay, so now I get it. So that's what the lawyer does.
Yeah.
Now, because I get it now, because I just never understood the whole thing. So what a lawyer does in Mexico is basically they're the intermediary between you and the notary and you and everybody else. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, they represent you. I mean, that's what a lawyer.
That's right.
Okay, yeah, okay. So,
that's
what a
we do.
lawyer's supposed to do. They're supposed to represent you.
That's right.
But so when you hire a lawyer here for the need of renting a place, the lawyer is representing you, and they're also getting part of their services is they get in contact with the notary to make sure that your document is as official. The word of God, literally.
And if there's anything that you need to negotiate, is the attorney that can negotiate. In your behalf with the owner or the realtor or the owner's attorney.
Because there's another plus too. Because for example, let's say you're going to buy a piece of land. Let's just talk about buying for 1 second. Because you're most likely not going to negotiate a rental price.
That's right.
But when you're buying something,
you'll be surprised.
Okay.
There's a lot of negotiations regarding who does
the work on the house.
Yeah,
you're right. Okay. So okay.
I know it's not much, but
no, but you're right. Okay, so here you again, just like if you're buying a property or anything else, they represent you. You hire him, so you don't have to deal with the owner. He's the one that calls or they call. And they're the ones that are representing you, and they say, hey, look, my client would like XYZ.
Right.
My client needs this. My client says this. My client.
That's right.
That's it. And then you don't got to worry about it. Okay.
Yeah, you can do it though. I mean.
Yeah.
Feel free to do it, and I do recommend to get the vibe, the sensation, the feeling of doing it yourself. Yeah. But if at some point you feel like you're stuck, then I do recommend.
That's all I do on this channel is show people and tell people, show people how they can do it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But also, sometimes you need some help and who you can reach out to for that help. Because look, I reach out to him all the time. For all kinds of help. Sometimes it's to answer a simple question from you guys. Sometimes it's something to answer one of my questions. But again, it's very important to have somebody that you can trust, that you can counsel with, for whatever it is. I see the chat is blowing up. Do you want to look at the chat real quick, or you want?
Sure, yeah. If there's any rental question we can answer right now, go ahead.
Let me see. Okay, so let's talk about evictions. Yeah, requirement. Sorry. Yeah, evictions. Before we move on to evictions, okay, because that's a very important thing, okay. But let's just talk real quick, just to finish off the rental thing. The rental, okay.
Cool.
So, we already know that basically, a notary is the one that needs to put the final stamp, and that you would most likely hire a lawyer, okay, to represent you to make sure that you get this whole hunky dory, or the people that are renting you the place, they will hire a lawyer that will, again, talk to the notary and get it all done. You will probably just need a translation, but anyways, we already talked about all that, but now let's talk about, like, what are the requirements to rent out here? So we already discussed that, most likely, not every case, we don't want to speak for everybody, but 75% or more of the renters out there will rent, okay, to a foreigner. They will ask for your FMM, but remember, we forgot because it's such a new thing, but nowadays they're not even getting the FMM anymore, right? They're just stamping your passport. So basically, it's just your passport.
The passport and the agent, the custom agent, will just write up the date you arrive. Okay, and the FMMs right now are digital.
Okay.
So if you want to download your FMM, the document, you must go to an immigration office and ask. Yeah. Okay. Now it's a digital FMM.
Okay.
Back in the days, you had this little white paper like.
Okay. So, but we haven't. I'm guessing it's too early to ask even like if is that becoming a problem with people renting?
No, because
it's on the passport.
Exactly.
Okay. So there you go. So long story short, you can rent, with any kind of visa. All right. Yeah, it's not a problem. But when you're finally found a place, okay, let's just say you found this house and you want to rent it. What are the requirements? Meaning what are they requiring from you? Because look, in the USA, they require, what is it, like proof of work? Your bank statements, your blood work. Everything.
Grandpa and grandma signing next to you.
Your grandma and grandpa have to co-sign. Everything. But in Mexico, what are the requirements?
Well, in here, an official ID, the passport. That works. Okay. The FMM, that it's the stamp.
Yeah, okay. Temporary residency,
right.
Permanent residency. Okay.
Any of those, that's also valid. And we have a thing in here. It's called aval.
Okay.
An aval is a person that I'll say it like it's
it's a co-signer. We talked about this before. Yeah. Okay. So I've already talked about it before. Yeah. So I don't want to confuse too many people, but. Everyone or almost everyone's going to ask you for an aval, depending on what part of Mexico, but some more than. But an aval. But long story short, what an aval is, again, and he'll tell you again, an aval is basically an excuse for them to give you a second deposit, for them to charge you a second deposit, because in 99.9% of the cases, nobody can get an aval, not even a Mexican, not even a Yucatecan,
No one, because
it's a co-signer. It's a co-signer.
Exactly.
And who's going to co-sign you on your rent?
Because if you don't pay, and I sign as your aval, then I'll pay.
Yeah. So nobody will give you an aval ever.
Oh, sorry, guys.
No worries. So that's the situation with the aval. So basically, whenever you hear aval, just put in your mind that's another deposit. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what they're going to ask you for is your ID, which is, whatever residency or visa you have. It could be a work visa, whatever.
Yeah. Working visa, temporary residency, permanent residency, your passport, as long as it's valid.
Yeah, something that shows legal status, because they cannot sign a contract with someone that's here illegally.
That's right.
You feel me? Okay. So that's it. That's a situation with that. So just ID, and then. What else?
ID, the deposit. Normally, if you have an aval, they'll just take one. A deposit is 1 month's rent. Okay. So what happens with this 1 month's rent? At the end of the contract, if everything's okay inside the house, if the house is exactly the same as you received it, then you get that money back. Okay. If you don't have an aval, then you'll have to pay 2 deposits. Two rents plus the actual month.
Right.
So that means 3 months when signing the contract plus the contract fees.
Right, which the contract fees means the lawyer / notary services.
That's right.
Which
That's
you're gonna have to pay somehow, whether you get your own or whether you go through them. Because
Right.
and that's why at the end of the day, it's probably better to just find your own because you're gonna have to pay for those fees anyway. You think they're gonna pay for the fees? No, they're not. So you're paying for the fees, and so basically,
And sign the pagares. Normally, you'll
Right.
sign the pagares.
yeah, and again, you know what I mean? Yeah, so you do all that in front of the lawyer, right? Or the notary.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can do that in front of your lawyer. Make sure that the signature matches the owner's ID, of course, and make a copy and ask for a copy of the owner's ID. All right.
Okay.
So that's what you need. Also, you need the owner's ID, both sides. Make sure to get the property taxes on the house that are paid for the year. Okay.
Okay.
Because you need the property taxes to be paid. Because there's one document that we ask and include in the contract, which is the certified of no owing taxes, city taxes. Okay.
So how about this? Let's just again, if I'm renting a place, right, and I need a lawyer, I can just call you, and then you would ask for all that.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, if you do it yourself, then just make sure to get the owner's ID, get the property taxes, a copy of the property taxes. Again, feel free to do it. If not, just
okay.
Sure.
Most people. I mean, it's not like he's charging a lot of money. But it's just it's better. They just get. I mean, you're gonna need a professional. Someone has to write out the contract. I mean, again, he's like he said, you can get somebody. You can write it yourself between you and the owner and all this other stuff, but why risk it? You know what I mean? Why not just pay a few $100 or whatever it costs?
Yeah. The thing
is, a lot of times it's not a lot. I mean, it's a lot of times it's the same amount as the rent.
That's
or
right.
Maybe a little less. It just depends, or maybe a little more. It just depends on the rent. You know what I mean?
That's
Depending on the fees, but it's usually around whatever you're paying in rent. So just what I always tell people is to just whenever you're gonna move in, mentally prepare yourself for 4 months rent. Meaning, the month you're moving in, the month's deposit, the eval, and then the fees. Now, you could get lucky and you don't need an eval. And you could get lucky and the fees, for the lawyer are very low. And that's it. You're good to go. You know what I mean? Very low in comparison to the rent. Because your rent could be 20. It's gonna be 20,000 pesos. And you're not gonna pay 20,000 pesos, right? For it's for the contract or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, everyone's gonna be a little different.
In each case is different.
Right. Yeah. And so that's it. Okay. So so that's everything rental wise. And again, it's very important because it doesn't matter even if you're buying, you still need to rent. You're still gonna in many cases, right? I mean, it's most advisable to come out here, Airbnb it, and then eventually rent the place and be out here for a while you're looking for a place. Eventually find the place that you're going to want to live in and move in, because it's just like any other purchase. Now, if you're looking for investing, that's another story. You can come in here and you can be buying property immediately. You're doing something else. But if you're looking, again, in my opinion, you guys do whatever you want. But if you're looking to find a place that you want to move into, for a very long time, then take your time. Yeah. It's no hurry. You know what I mean? Right. Like, you're in Mexico. You're in Mexican time. So, okay. So that's all the rental stuff. I think that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I guess, we'll move on to, let's just get into buying, okay? Because I was going to say the Airbnb or whatever, but.
It's part of the rentals.
Let's just stick to the script.
Okay.
I don't have the sound effects available, right? Okay, so now let's go into buying, okay? So first question, can someone buy a home on a tourist visa?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's you can buy a house with a tourist visa through a bank trust, okay? In Spanish, it's called fideicomiso. So you don't have to, it's not mandatory for you to have a permanent residency or a temporary residency. Now, the most important thing is you can buy it, as I said, you can buy it with a tourist visa, but let's say you decide to sell in a year or two. I do recommend I do recommend to have your permanent or temporary residency with you at the time, because then you'll be able to apply a discount when you sell. I mean, regarding your taxes, you'll get a tax benefit if you have the temporary or permanent residency with the same address that the house you're selling. Okay, that'll give you a tax benefit. But that's when you decide to sell, and in a year, 2 years, 5 years. But to buy land, to buy a house, you only need an FMM. That's it, a tourist visa.
Tourist visa, okay.
You can buy, yeah. You can set up a bank trust, a fideicomiso. If you ask me, I know you haven't, but I do recommend the services of BIM, BIM. That's a fiduciary. They're doing a hell of a job, a fantastic job with bank trusts right now.
Oh, okay.
You know,
because I always recommended Intercam.
Intercam is good.
Okay, yeah, that's the only one I knew.
Intercam is good.
But there's other ones in.
Yeah. Well, Scotiabank.
I didn't know that.
Forget about Scotiabank, because actually, and this is between you and I, right?
I and everyone watching.
Well, okay, all right, but don't tell anyone that you saw it here, all right? Scotiabank's fiduciary department will be closed very soon.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So they're not accepting any new bank trusts. Okay. So don't even try it. Don't even try it. Okay?
But other banks, basically every other bank.
Okay, we have Banco Monex.
Okay.
We have.
So real quick. Okay, so basically every bank in Mexico, right?
No.
But many banks.
I would say 3 now.
Okay. Banco Monex. Sorry,
Banco Monex.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Intercam and BIM.
Got
okay.
It. Okay.
Any of those, but
BIM.
Definitely.
How do you spell BIM?
BIM.
Oh, BIM. BIM.
But yeah.
BIM. Okay. BIM.
Yeah,
BIM is
yeah,
Spanish.
In Spanish.
So
yeah.
BIM.
Right.
BIM.
I do recommend that that bank. Definitely. They're doing great, fantastic job these days with bank trusts.
Okay.
Going back to buying a house, you can do it through with an FMM, through a bank trust, through a fideicomiso.
Okay.
All you have to do is choose your bank and boom.
Now, what is a fideicomiso in the sense that it's you don't own it, or the bank owns it, or how does it work?
Okay. This is a common question.
Common, yeah.
Because you'll see on the house documents that this house, the owner of this house is, for example, Beam, blah blah blah, or Banco Monex, blah blah blah. But that doesn't mean they own it. A trust is because here in the Yucatan, not in all Yucatan, but at least here in Merida and all the coast, and this is regarding all the coast around Mexico. If you're not 50 kilometers from the coast, you need to set up a trust or a fideicomiso or a bank trust. If the property you want to buy is beyond 50 kilometers from the coast, then you can buy it in your name.
Okay, even on a tourist visa.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But with if the property is inside those 50 kilometers, then you'll have to set up a bank trust. Okay.
Okay, and the only way to avoid that is that you have to be a citizen.
That's right.
Okay.
Mexican citizens,
so
they don't need a bank trust to buy a property.
So what about I've heard that it's like you can set up a corporation, and then through the corporation you can still buy. You can buy within the 50.
That's right.
But you need to be at least a temporary or permanent.
No, to set up a Mexican corporation, you don't need
a tourist visa.
Yeah, you can set up. In fact, you don't have to be here to set up a Mexican corporation. Okay. That's fantastic now. Okay. That's something that changed during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, yes, you can set up a corporation and buy a house. Now the thing is this: if you set up a corporation to buy a house and live in that house, then it's not the correct way to do it. Okay, because it's not for business. But if you set up that corporation to invest in Mexico, to buy that house and rent it, or buy 2 properties and building, you decide to build, I don't know, 2-3 condos and then rent those condos, yes, please set up a Mexican corporation for that, all right? But if you're setting up that Mexican corporation just to live in that house, the correct way to do it is through a bank trust.
Okay.
With the fideicomiso, all right? But yes, you can set up a corporation and buy land and purchase a house and rent the house. Especially if your plan is to do business in Mexico, set up a corporation.
Okay.
I've had clients that after setting up a trust, they decide to do business. Now they must set up a Mexican corporation. When if you set up a Mexican corporation to and buy a house and you work in that house, or you have something, or you rent that house, you're fulfilling the purpose of a Mexican corporation, which is the business.
So basically, for example, you could buy a house under a Mexican corporation, and your business is, I don't know, you're a digital nomad, but right, a digital nomad, but meaning that you are a freelancer, you're a freelance movie editor. And that is your business, but you're setting it out of Mexico.
Right.
But then you would just be now the only thing is that you would have to now pay taxes.
That's right.
But you own the house outright, and it's under your name.
Yeah, you own the house. You own the house. The corporation owns the house.
They always get you.
You own the house through the corporation.
Legally, all legally.
Yeah. Now the difference is with the bank trust, you can just open the bank trust yourself.
Now,
with the Mexican corporation, you need two shareholders.
Oh.
You and someone else.
Oh, because in the U.S. you can just do it with one.
No. In here you need 2.
So the other one, but it could be your
wife.
Could
be your wife, yeah.
Okay. Or your dog?
No. If dog, you mean your friends? Yeah. What up, dog?
Oh, okay.
yeah. But
you need a second person.
Yeah, it could be mom, dad, your son.
Anybody, but it's just a second person.
That's right.
Wow, I did not know that. I did not know. Really, I had no idea. Okay, no, but real quick about the trust. Look, the thing is because in the U.S. and I'm sure here too, ownership is very important.
Yep.
And so at the end of the day, the trust means that somebody else is owning it, right?
Well. I said, the bank, because you need a Mexican entity
to own it.
To own it, if the property is within the
so the question, okay, so the
but
question,
you're allowed to use it. You're allowed to do anything.
Yeah. So, but the question is, at the end of the day, someone coming out here on a tourist visa or any visa, they understand that. Okay, look, fine. I have to set up the fideicomiso, and the bank is going to be my trust.
That's right.
Yada yada yada. I'm not the owner straight up. Let's just be honest. Because at the end of the day, right? They can say, they're the owner. They're the trust.
Well,
meaning that they are the ones that have the final word, no matter what. Right?
Well, let's go crazy now.
But hold on. But my question is, if I become a citizen. Mm-hmm. A Mexican citizen, would I be able to take it out of the trust and put it under my name?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So long story short, the trust is only until you become a citizen, and then you can put it under your name.
It's the way to protect
or a corporation.
Right. The trust is the way to protect your investment, an investment that you made on a house. Okay. You'll see your name in the document. You'll see your name in the title. But you need the bank to be there always, because the property you're buying is within the 50 kilometers from the coast. Again, I'll go crazy, and let's say the bank goes bankrupt, then we might have a problem.
Right.
But this is just a conspiracy theory, all right?
We'll leave it there.
Yeah, anyways. We'll leave it there, because that doesn't happen.
Some people think
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, but it could.
It as I said, it could.
But the thing is, it's like I asked this because a lot of my viewers, this is a situation, and not just viewers, but like you gotta remember, in other countries, let's say someone coming from Venezuela or someone that happens, that has happened, and
right.
Hoping nothing, knock on wood, nothing happens, we're good, and I think Mexico's gonna be very safe, but we're not. Remember, at the end of the day, the trust is under the bank's name. So it's like the bank. It's remember not the country. The country could be fine, but the bank, and for I'm just saying because like
let's say the bank becomes your partner.
Yeah.
Better? The bank will become your partner.
Look, I am myself don't trust banks, and I know a lot of Mexicans also don't trust banks. And I'm just I'm at the end of the day, you need to trust the bank in this situation.
It's a bank trust.
Yeah. It's unfortunately, but there's a way out because look, there's a lot of you guys that think like him. No problem. I trust the bank. It's all good. Whatever. But there's other people like me. That are crazier, conspiracy theories, whatever. Wearing my aluminum hat to sleep. Some of us out here, we don't trust the bank. We don't trust anybody. So we want to know that there's at least a way out. And
that's right.
Meaning
that's
that
right.
there is. At the end of the day, if you go and follow all the proper order of getting your citizenship, meaning
that's right.
Temporary residency, permanent residency, then citizenship. Then no problem. So just become a citizen. You can put it under your name.
That's right.
No problem. That's
right.
it. And so you don't got to worry about any of those things.
Yes.
But in the meantime, there's a lot of you guys that want to buy it on a tourist visa. You can, and it's yours. And if you really want to make it yours, just become a citizen, and that's it.
That's right.
Yeah. So just wanted to make sure that we because a lot of people that's important to a lot of people. Like for me, I know I don't want no bank owning nothing. All right, unless I owe them money, they don't owe shit. Right? Yeah, But anyways, this is
okay.
Okay, so the next question is. Because I was going to say, can they pay cash for a home? But the answer is going to be yes, because we already talked about this. So let me ask the first question. Can somebody finance a home in Mexico? Because a lot of people ask me, okay, I want to buy a home out here, but I want to finance it like I do in the U.S.
Okay.
So what's the answer?
Well, the straight answer is no if you're looking for a finance from the bank. Okay. There are no finances. There's no
no Mexican financier, no Mexican bank. Nobody in Mexico will give you money.
Right. That's
You're
right.
a rich gringo. Because even if you're poor, you're still a rich gringo. No one's gonna give you money to buy a home. But you can still get financing.
Yes. Well, we do have owner's financing, and how does that work? We have a contract here in Mexico called. I'm going to say this in Spanish first, and then we'll translate. Compra-venta con reserva de dominio. Okay. What does that mean is that you're buying a house, okay? But until you pay the last cent, the owner still the owner.
Okay.
The seller. Okay? So okay. I'll just go every month and get the money from you. I will allow you to stay in the house, okay? But I will keep ownership of the house until you pay me.
Yeah,
if you don't pay, then I will execute that contract and I'll kick you out.
Yeah, so basically your mortgage turns into your rent until you end up paying off, the mortgage, and then you own the house outright.
Yes, and that contract must be signed before a notary, and especially you'll have to pay for the all the taxes and register that title, because it protects the seller, and you as the buyer must get registered at the public record of property.
Okay, and so in this case, you still need to set up a bank trust and all that?
No, well, yeah. If you're buying through a this type of contract, yes, yes, you do.
And this
because also if the property is within the 50 kilometers, yes,
and so this is basically rent to own. We have something similar in the U.S., and this is basically rent to own.
Right.
You're buying. Like I could talk to my landlord and say, hey, how much for this? We'll sign a contract. I buy from them. But now my rent turns into my mortgage payment. That's it. So that's okay. I didn't know. That's pretty cool. Okay, but let's just say that the owner says, no, I want the money now. Can somebody, let's say, get financing from a financier from their country or from abroad or a private you know what I mean? Like, can they just get Yeah, right. I mean, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day as long as the owner gets paid.
Right, and well, I don't know if there's any U.S. bank that will give you money to buy a property in Mexico. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah. No, but they're private. I know that there are private entities
But
out there.
credit,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Once you get your credit, because you'll pay the credit in the U.S. or Canada. Once you get the money, you pay the seller, and that's it.
Yeah.
You own it straight.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you're going to buy anything out here, it's straight up cash, right?
Yeah, and now speaking about cash, if what you think is that to bring a bag full of money and pay in cash, sorry guys, there is a limit. In Mexico, we have a limit to pay in cash.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
So-
okay. Well, we're gonna have to talk later because that's no, it's kidding.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
just a little bit above 700,000 pesos, which is like 35. Let's say $37,000. That's the maximum amount you can pay in cash. If you're buying, let's say you're buying a $250,000 house, $38,000. That's it. That's all you can pay in cash, and the rest, the balance, either through check or wire transfer.
Yeah, bank transfer. Okay, well, that's good to know. I don't think anyone's gonna show up with all that cash.
Well, I've seen people go.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah.
Okay, well, some people, anyways.
Yeah.
But anyways, but the point when I was saying cash. But seriously, that is good to know because there are some people, I get it. Especially as inflation gets crazier and crazier, that's not that much money. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, when I meant cash, what I really meant to say was that,
One payment.
Yeah, one payment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Meaning that there's no financing unless it's what the situation we spoke of. Meaning that you get a private financier which they will pay in full for the house, or that you're getting financed by the owner themselves. But other than those two, you got to pay. It's a full payment. It's a full cash.
It's a one-time payment.
So
Yes,
how would that work? For example, like okay, let's just say I have like the $200,000 in cash. I would have to deposit that into a bank.
Yep.
And then an American bank, and then transfer that to a Mexican bank, meaning the owner's bank account.
Yeah, the sellers.
Yeah,
Yes.
and all this would be done through a lawyer, right?
Oh yes,
Okay.
because before sending any money, make sure to have a contract. Yeah,
Okay.
a signed contract.
Okay.
For deposits, for if you're renting to buy.
Now,
or
real
if
quick, I just thought this out of So let's just say I have $200,000 in cash in bags, and I show up to your office to buy a home, and I don't have a bank account, and I don't have a Mexican bank. There's no bank account. Can I still theoretically buy a home, but let's say deposit it in your bank account, or is that illegal, or what?
No, that cannot happen because
Okay.
when you buy a house, all the transaction must be followed through a check coming out of your bank account or a transfer from your personal account. The reason is simple. Now, there's an international treaty between Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. Money laundering.
Okay.
Period. Okay. If you get that cash, and I could deposit that cash in my law firm's bank account and pay, but we would need to justify the reason why I took that money and put it into my bank account. So it's just.
And the justification of this is my client's money to buy a home.
Then
that's not-
you'll have to give me a power of attorney, sign it before a notary, so I can do that representing you, and then they will ask you where
did you get the money?
Yes.
Yeah, there's always, and if, by the way, let's just say that you cannot provide any of this information, just go to HSBC. No, just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. Not kidding. Anyways,
Yeah.
All right.
Hello to our friends at HS.
Banking joke. All right, banking joke.
Hello to our friends.
Yeah. Okay. So long story short. Okay, because I did not know this either. Okay. So because look, for example, let's just say you have your money in Bitcoin.
Okay.
But I don't have a bank.
But normally, when you have a Bitcoin account, it's linked to a.
Yeah, there's some that aren't. But at the end of the day, I mean, that would be like cash. And at the end of the day, I would still, no matter what I have,
Well-
I would still have to open up a bank account.
Right.
No matter what, I mean, it could be I could open up a Mexican bank account.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for example, let's just say I'm in a situation like similar to what I'm just saying now, where I can't, I don't have a bank account. I have a lot of cash or Bitcoin or whatever I have. A Mona Lisa painting, whatever, something valuable. Okay, and I just am in a weird predicament. I can literally just talk to you or anyone, but talk to you legally and get my residency. Right?
Yeah.
And then with my residency, get a bank account?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because all I need is a passport, right? Which is, my U.S. passport.
To open a bank account, now you need the residency.
Yeah, no, but they still ask for a passport, trust me. But what I'm saying is that, I don't need much. Again, just my residency, get the bank account, and then open up a Mexican bank account, deposit my money there.
And boom,
right,
make
and
a
boom.
check or transfer the money.
Now, later on, let's say you're a U.S. citizen and you have to, because by the way, you do that, the IRS is still going to come a knocking. Don't be getting it twisted, all right? They will, all right? So shout out to you, IRS. Anyways, they'll come a knocking, but then that's your problem and you got to deal with them. You feel me?
Right.
So but theoretically you could do that because there's a lot of people in the U.S., me included, for many reasons. Sometimes it's just financial, not enough finances, but it could be the other way around, where no bank will give you a bank account, but you could theoretically come out here, open up a bank account, no problem, and then just go through there,
That's right.
and then just deal with the IRS, whatever. Okay.
That's right.
Speaking of taxes, what about Mexican taxes? Meaning. Let's just say I'm on a tourist visa or not permanent, whatever, permanent resident. But let's just say tourist because that's the most obvious. Meaning the SAT, the taxes, right? Is it SAT or is it something else?
SAT, yeah. Taxes.
So that's a paper I gotta get from its SAT.
To do what?
The what's that paper that everyone's always asking for? Everybody gonna get their paper from its SAT.
Oh, the tax ID, RFC.
Yeah, okay, your RFC. Got it. Okay, so on a tourist visa, you're not getting an RFC,
nope.
Correct? Okay. But you just said I could buy a home.
Yeah.
Without an RFC? Without any okay. So
no, here's the here's the trick. Okay. You can buy a house and the notary will ask you if you have any kind of a tax ID. And the notary knows that in the US you do have tax ID.
And what is your tax ID?
The number that
your social security. Your social security. Yeah, because I don't want to get into it. Conspiracy. I don't want to get into it. But look, the reality is that your social security number, that is your tax ID.
That's right.
Okay? That's not in Mexico. Mexico's not like
that, right? Yeah. No. We have social security number and we have RFC.
Because in the US, we are all a number. It's a whole thing. Again, shout out to IRS. All right? I love you guys. But anyways, that tax ID number, okay? That number is, everyone has one. So again, when you're here in Mexico and someone asks you for your tax ID number and you don't have your Mexican tax ID, well, it's okay. You got your U.S. tax ID, correct?
Yeah.
Everyone has a U.S. tax ID, which is your social security.
That's right.
Now, in some cases, you might have your EIN or your TIN or whatever, what's it called?
The TIN,
which is your
TIN.
business, because if you have a USA corporation, you'll have your business ID. So you use that, obviously. But most people...
And the thing is this, if you set up a bank trust to buy a property, the bank will ask you, the fiduciary bank will ask you for your tax ID number. The US tax ID, Canadian tax ID. It's part of the information that goes into the title transfer. So yeah.
And so long story short, because there's a lot of people out there, scaring people that they need all these tax papers, all this tax paperwork from Mexico. But the reality is that no, they just need, right?
You can buy with an FMM.
Yeah, you can buy. Yeah. But I mean, how do I say this? Like, let's just say that the guy selling you the house or the realtor demands you have that paperwork. Can you just
tell him to call me?
Okay, so that's it.
I was going to say something really bad.
Okay,
but
just call him and that's it. Get it done. Yeah, because
and I will explain.
Yeah, because look, I mean, for most people, look, in some cases, you need your Mexican tax ID. We've talked about that, and we'll talk about that in another episode. But in some cases, you need it, and I get that. I understand, but not in every case. And if you can avoid it, avoid it. At the end of the day, you're going to be paying taxes. You're going to be. Trust me. Okay, but. Why pay double tax when you don't have to?
Right.
Okay, legally, you don't have to. Okay, so that's that. So long story short, you can buy a home without your Mexican tax ID number.
Yes, that's
because
right.
You don't need one.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you set up a trust, the bank will ask you for your tax ID from your country,
Okay.
U.S., Canada,
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
Britain.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So tax ID. And so look, every country is going to be different because look, I don't know Canada. I don't know what your social security number is, and if that is your tax ID. I think the U.S. is the only unique country, but maybe not. Canadians can do it too, right?
Yes, Canadians, yeah.
Okay.
They have a tax ID also.
There you go. So, but it's not every country. Okay. So, but just FYI. But basically, U.S. and Canadians. Okay. Okay, so that's the tax situation. Okay, you're gonna be paying tax. Don't worry about it. But there's no need to go out of your way because again, the horror stories of the SAT and having to go to the Mexican IRS and yada yada yada. Okay, now buying land. Okay, so we already talked. Buying land is the same thing as buying a home in a sense, right?
In a sense, but if you're buying land and you want to buy land through a bank trust, then you'll need a special permit because the bank will ask you to build something in that piece of property within the 2 years after buying the land. Okay, so you'll have to ask for a special permit. What I do recommend with if you're buying land to build. If it's for business, again, set up a corporation. Buy the land and then build on it, build your apartments, whatever. If you're buying the land to build your house, buy it and get a good engineer, okay? Because they know what it has to be done, time frames to get all your permits. So you're so you don't have a problem with the bank trust, because if that period of time passes by, then you'll pay a fine, okay? Because you didn't build a house in that piecece of land, okay?
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so it's actually different than buying land.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more
Just
complicated.
that, yeah. A
Okay.
little bit different, but yeah.
Okay, so but yeah, so basically.
But basically it's the same.
Okay.
No?
So yeah, so long story, and it's all the same rules. Everything's
Right.
the same except for that one thing in which
Right.
what you just explained there. Okay. Maze, shout out to you with a $1.99 donation. Hells yeah, shout out to you. And he just asked a simple question: do you need your RFC to purchase a car in Mexico?
To purchase a car.
Because when I went they asked me for mine.
Yes.
But theoretically, would I be able to get away with
Okay.
providing them my social security number?
Okay,
or no?
here's the answer. To buy the car, no. But to register the car,
Yes. Okay, makes sense.
So you can buy it and register in someone else's name.
Yeah. Okay.
But of course, I know you.
Okay, got it. Yeah, makes sense because that's exactly what happened. That's why I needed it because I was asking, okay, yeah, and that's I needed it because I wanted to register it all in my name
That's
and
right.
have it all in my name. So I needed to do that, and I could do that as a permanent resident.
That's right.
No problem.
That's right.
But with the home, remember at the end of the day, you're not even the home is not under your name. The home is under the trust name.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Or even the corporation, but that's another thing. But long story short, it's just what we were talking about is the taxes and who you're going
That's
to
right.
hold. Okay, got
That's
it.
right.
All right. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so let's see. More questions. Okay, so now let's just talk about for people out there that have rented. Okay, sorry. For people out there that have bought a property and they plan on renting it out. Renting it to 6 month, 1 year lease. To just a regular renter or doing Airbnb. What are the requirements for that? Meaning, I can't do that on a tourist visa, right? I can't rent an air. I can't. I just bought a property, all right, on a tourist visa. Can I already immediately turn it into an Airbnb?
Well, the thing is this with the Airbnb.
Or even rent it.
It's very difficult to track Airbnb. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You can put it on Airbnb, and if you have a bank account in Australia, the money will go there. Okay. If your question is related to taxes, then it will be very difficult to keep track.
So long story short, I got an Airbnb. Okay, I mean I'm a tourist. I'm not a tourist. I'm on a tourist visa. I bought a home and I want an Airbnb it. I can simply, again, my Airbnb account is in the U.S. Again, right? And then
The money will go there.
Yeah, it's all done through the U.S. Even if my home, the home that I'm renting is in Mexico, right? Okay.
Yeah.
There's no weird legal.
There is no way.
But there's no legal. But even if, but legally, let's just say legally. Is there a requirement with
no to put
work?
your house on Airbnb is different. I didn't know this, but for example, Toronto in Canada, it is illegal to Airbnb.
Yeah, in some places. Yeah, just like it's illegal to Uber. No, but okay. I guess my question. Let me rephrase the question. But to rephrase the question, forget Airbnb. Let's just say I'm renting my house.
Okay. Now.
Yeah.
All right. So you have a bank trust. You purchase the house through a bank trust. Okay. One of the clauses on the title will say that if you decide to rent that house, you must ask. A rental, a 1-year rental, for example, 6 months rental. You'll have to inform the bank that you wish to rent the house. Now, again, we go back to 20 minutes ago. We were chatting. If you're buying that house to do business,
then just get a corporation. Yeah, and it's like that, so no big deal.
Instead of informing the bank, because there's one huge clause in there saying that if you decide to this property is only to live. If you decide to do something, if you decide to rent it, you need to inform the bank.
Okay. And for anyone out there,
because the bank is protecting,
100%. Yeah, they own the house.
If something happens, if something happens,
they're the ones that are in charge. Yeah. So long story short, let's just say that somebody out there, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that have already bought your house, and the house is under the fideicomiso, aka the bank is bank trust. Could I and I'm Airbnb, all right? I'm Airbnb. Would I theoretically be able to just say, hey? So I want to open up a corporation and put this house now under the corporation, take it away from the bank, because I'm doing business here.
Yes, but the thing is this, guys. If you do that, you'll be paying 2 times your closing costs.
Okay, so basically, if you're gonna
because you will have to buy it with your corporation, even though you're buying the house from yourself.
Yeah.
You'll have to pay.
Closing
tax,
costs.
yes.
Taxes, closing. Okay, so basically, if you know you're gonna do that, make sure to
think about it before.
To make it. Before you buy the house, make sure you know what you're doing. So if you're gonna start a business, do the corporation. If you're not, and by the way,
if you're investing in property, investing.
So for example, let's just say I buy the property, and I'm really not gonna open up the Airbnb or start business until like 6 months from now. Is that still okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's no time limit or time frame or time.
No.
Got it.
Normally, here in Mexico, the first year, when you set up a corporation, during the first year, the tax offices, they're aware that it is kind of difficult to make your business, get as much income as you would love to have. So the first year, you also get, with the corporation, you also get a tax benefit, okay? That's a 1-year calendar. So if you set up a corporation today, that benefit ends December the 31st, 2022. But it's not mandatory to have business the next day or within the next 4 months or 6 months. It's just what they will ask from you is for you to declare your taxes, even if you don't have any income. Just send the report that, hey, I didn't make any money this month. Boom. That's what you need to do. All right. That's what you guys need to do.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. I think that's it. I think that's covering all the questions.
Sweet.
We got a few. I got another question because I got a curious question. What is Infonavit? Is that too much to just get? That's just a quick overview because I'm sure a lot of places, a lot of people that have already been in Mexico, live out here, whatever, that you guys see on homes or you see out there, Infonavit.
Yeah.
And so Infonavit, for anyone from the U.S., it's basically like Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or something like that? Or?
It's a credit that it's
only
for
available
workers, for for Mexican employees.
Right.
That's it.
And so,
That's it.
yeah. So basically, like when let's say I work for McDonald's, on my paycheck they'll be taking out from Infonavit, right? Just like in the U.S. they'll take out for
That's
Social
right.
Security, Medicare, FICO, whatever.
That's
so
right.
in here they'll take, in Mexico they take out of the average check
That's right.
for Infonavit. And so basically at any point in time that I want to buy a home, all right, and as a Mexican can tap into that Infonavit
If
credit.
the company, if that Mexican works for a company that gives, yeah, or his, because for example, if I get hired, let's say I was going to say HSBC, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's say HSBC wants my services, HSBC won't pay for my Infonavit because they will hire me as a consultant or as an attorney, and so that won't apply to me, all right? But if I work as a cashier of HSBC, I might get Infonavit because I'm an employee of an institution. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. Okay, awesome. All right, so that's it. I mean, that's just basically what that is now.
Thank you, guys.
Is it okay? We go through the chat? Is that okay? Or
Yeah.
you gotta run.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
let me just get comfortable.
Yeah. No worries. I know you've had a long day. It's long day. Okay, let's just get into the questions. Just a few more minutes, all right? And we'll be out of here. I mean, we did a great video. We got to answer a lot of questions, I feel.
Yeah.
And I think that, it's going to be very helpful for everyone out there. And also, all right, before we get into the questions, though, let's give a little shout out to, Jose, meaning, by the way, his name is also Jose. Before I forget, one of the questions I'm getting here from Mr. Hansen, he says, do you also help with people trying to transition into Mexico City or only here?
Sure.
Yeah,
we can help you with that. I mean, just if they want to move there, we can help them with that.
Okay, so Mexico City and Ensenada, I think I saw there anywhere basically.
Well, there's one thing. We can help you. We can do the consultation and all that. Sometimes we have alliances with attorneys. I had this client. This client. I forgot his name. Sorry. Probably you're watching.
John Doe. Don't worry about it.
He sent me an email. He's friends with Dave Ventura.
Okay.
Okay. So this. Sorry, I forgot your name. He asked me. He wants to buy a property in Baja. Okay. So I said. He asked me, "Can you help me?" I said, "Yeah." But I will have to fly there, and if you want to pay expenses and hotel and all that plus the closing costs, because I don't have anyone, I don't have any alliances with attorneys in Baja, and I said, look, it will be costly for you, but I can guide you. We can do the consultation thing, and I can review all the contracts, all the documents online, and give you the best advice I can. But I won't be able to be there for closing.
Yeah. And then at the end, you can just find somebody to finish that, to get them across the finish line in Baja.
That's right.
Wherever you are. Okay, so you can help anyone with everything, no matter where they are, for the most part. Now, before we move on to the questions, real quick, for anyone that's interested in reaching out to Jose, okay? All right, I'm gonna switch cameras here for a second. No, wrong camera. Right? Okay, there we go. Okay, there. Jose's still down there. Hey, okay. So for anyone that's interested, this is first of all, to reach him. All right, you can come to my website. Okay, shout out to me, plug to me, and then right here on my website, right there where you saw me click in the middle, I got free info. All right, I have all the websites where you can find properties. Okay, throughout wherever all over Mexico, and then a how-to video on how to navigate these websites. Once you find the home, once you find the place you're looking for and all that stuff, you can. Scroll down, all right, and you can find his information right there, all right? You can email him directly, all right? And then also got information on a dentist and glasses and a bunch of other stuff, veterinary, whatever. Anyways, I know, this is a real estate video. But once, another thing you can also do is go straight to his website. I'm going to put all the links down below, okay? His website is peninsulapremium.com, and on his website you get to see the properties he has for sale. Here, let me get our head out the way. You can see Okay, what he has for sale. For example, you can go and see. We have a few properties, right? This is Casa Azul, right?
Oh, dude,
Look at
that house is awesome.
So this is $9 million? No,
Pesos.
Pesos.
That's $450,000.
so 250.
450.
Oh, 400.
450,
Okay, yeah, okay. $450,000. Okay, so what do you get for $450,000? You
Look
get
at
this
that.
humongous home.
Yeah, 300 square meters, man. It's
Okay, in the
just
center,
awesome.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
3 blocks from Montejo,
Okay.
but still in the center. Yeah.
Yeah. It's prime
Look at
real
that.
estate.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's on the high end, and this is already like nice. This is already done. The home is
Oh
done.
yeah. It was
meaning you don't got to do anything to renovate.
finished a month ago.
Okay,
Got
so it's a
finished
brand new home. So this is on the
Brand
high
new home.
end. Okay, this is on the high end. All right, and then we also have on the low end. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so here you go. Okay, and it's what does it say there? 1.35 million.
Yeah.
So what's that
which
in
is like
dollars? Like 60, 70,000.
yes, that's right. That's right.
And so this is so
An
you can
all
buy
house,
you
yes.
can buy one like this and then turn it into this.
Yeah.
Okay, or buy it like this, or buy it like this, and then just live in it like this. I mean, like I do. I mean, I fix it up a little better than this, but but yeah, there's many things you can do. Okay, and you can rent this place as well.
Yeah.
You also rent. So anyone out there that's looking for a reputable person to represent them or help them find a place to rent, again, you can reach out to Jose. Here's his website again. You got the rents up here, rentas, ventas, which is,
Sales,
and then,
yeah.
contact, phone number, all the info is there. Again, I'll provide all the links down below. All right. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wait, wrong. There we go. Okay. So, all right. So, just wanted to give a shout out because I don't want to forget about all that before, we continue. And then, we're going to go with questions. So, I'm going to start going through the chat. We're just going to go through, speed round on the questions. And then we're going to, cut it. All right. Okay. Let's see. Questions. All right. What is it? Lightning round. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Let's just go all the way. I'm just going to go to the top.
All right.
And then just wherever I see a question mark, all right?
Cool.
Okay, I think if I'm going ahead, I've already.
Yeah, we've already answered.
We've already
those.
answered a bunch
Yeah.
of these questions.
Cool.
This is okay. All Day Vapor says, I have heard it is common that renters do not get security deposit very often. Is that true?
Well, normally, what they do is instead of paying for the last month, let's say your contract ends in December, okay? So you pay November. So instead of paying December, what they do is, okay, house looks good. Instead of giving you your money back, don't pay me the last month. Here's your pagaré, okay?
And the last month is free,
right?
Which is your deposit.
Now, if you decide, hey, I just want to pay them December, right? And the day I leave the house, I want my money back. They must give you your money back because you have a letter saying that the owner received X amount of money as deposit.
Right.
And that word is the trick.
Right. But
It's just a deposit, and I want it back.
But at the end of the day, it's advisable, okay? And again, it's not every part of Mexico, but at least here, okay? I know that's because look, Miami was the same way. In the other parts of the U.S., it was not this way. But long story short, yeah, if you left two deposits, deposit of all, that means that the last 2 months are free. Okay, and that's it. And the reason for that, at least, my thinking is because it allows the person to also, gather a few months' rent, you know what I mean? So that you can move out and find another place.
And also, they will ask you, if that's the case, instead of getting your deposit back, they will ask you just to show the owner that the electricity bill is paid until the last day you leave the house, that the telephone bill or the water bill, that's normally that's what they will ask, so you can get your deposit back. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah. Then we got it. Okay, next question. Does buying a home qualify you to get permanent residency? Meaning, if I buy a home on a tourist visa, do I automatically qualify to get a permanent residence?
Depends.
Okay.
Depends on the amount. because there's and we went through this the day we talked about the residencies. There's an amount, a minimum amount of investment required by the immigration law that can get you the permanent residency.
Okay. What would that be?
That's $350,000
Okay.
in a property.
Okay.
So yes,
okay.
but there's a but. You must pay that amount.
Yeah. So $350,000 US.
It must be shown.
So-
you have to show that amount on your title.
So long story short, hold on,
Yeah, there's your.
Look, if you want residency, all you gotta do is buy this home that's at $350,000.
Yeah, that's for 50.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then that will qualify you.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
it. So no
So
problem.
yes, but big but. You must.
Minimum requirement of $350
Yeah,
US.
and that's on that you can follow at the you can
Okay.
see that on the immigration.
Now the
law.
next question,
Sure.
before I move on here, because it's something that I had, I just forgot to ask.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down, because this is for renters, and it doesn't matter even if you own and you're renting to somebody. How does eviction work?
Okay.
Let's say that eviction, whatever. Like, how does just eviction work? Who can get evicted? On what circumstance do they get evicted? Do the police get involved? Or do you got to pull them out and evict them yourself?
Okay.
Or what? Yeah.
For that, you need a contract. That's the most important thing. A contract, and of course the pagares. If you're the owner, make sure to have a contract saying that if, for example,
So the contract. Okay, so we're a speed round. So
Yeah.
so yeah, trying to get you out of here quick. Okay,
Yeah.
so so let's say I own this house, okay, and I rented it to somebody, and that person is not leaving. That's it. The lease is over, and they're not paying rent, and they
Okay.
refuse to leave. So
Okay.
what are my legal rights to get them out of my house?
right, so you have a contract, you have a signed contract, stamped by a notary. You take that contract back to the notary or to the courthouse, and they will ask. Well, they will inform, the judicial department will inform the persons living in your house that they must leave within the next blah, blah, blah.
30 days.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
If they don't, then the police
We'll force them out.
force them out.
And by the way, this has happened, okay? So
Oh, yes.
I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
it happen. Yeah. So bitch, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and then the same thing goes the other way around. Meaning,
That's right.
Meaning, no, for example, but like, okay, so now, okay, that's that process, okay? But let's just say that I am living here, and I'm paying my rent, contract. I got 6 months left on my contract. Everything's fine, but the owner don't like me for whatever reason now, and he says, I'm going to evict you if you don't move out of the house, and yada yada yada.
Nope, you have a contract,
Right.
signed contract, stamped and signed by a notary.
Okay.
There is no way they can kick you out of the house.
Okay, so that's that situation. Now, another situation. Let's say I own a house or a piece of land or property. And one day I come to my house or property and there's somebody living there. A squatter. Now what?
You go
There's
to
no contract, there's no nothing.
You
There's
go
no,
to court, you have a title, you go to court, and you inform the judge that there's some family living in your house.
Okay,
So they will kick them out.
okay.
You'll have to pay for the court for the case and the lawsuit, yeah, but you will win that.
And how
case.
long does it take?
Could take 6 months, a year.
Oh,
That
okay.
depends.
Okay.
That depends.
Got it. Okay, so when you're dealing with a regular eviction contract, it's just a few months,
Yep.
right? Or a few days.
Yes. Right.
Okay,
right.
depending. Okay, okay. So this is regular, but if you have squatters, but again, let's just say I bought the property and I'm working on the property, I'm doing whatever, but then the squatters just come out of nowhere one day. Even in that case, it's going to take me 6 months to a year to get rid of them,
Well,
unless I hire somebody
that's right.
to get them out of there.
That's right. I
Right.
mean,
in a sense, legally, right? Because
illegally.
yeah, illegally,
Right. What?
Okay.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, squatter could be someone that.
Yeah, squatter. I mean, we
yeah,
know,
but you allow someone to
squat-
get into your house.
No,
because
but I
you-
mean, think
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Let's just say that
Let's
you
say
bought,
you-
for example, let's say I bought the other house, the second house, the one that's like.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, and I'm not living there right now, but
Yeah.
one day I show up to do renovations.
But
and
a squatter could be a friend of yours that you gave him the keys to your house,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want to live,
Yeah.
but he can say, hey, I know this guy, and he can. That's why I say maybe a year, because he can say, yeah, he gave me the house. He said.
So legally, fighting it in court is going to be a pain in the butt, and that's why Mexicans just go Mexican vigilante, Mexican justice, and they hire somebody. I'm just giving a theoretical. There's other ways, but you get them out. You have to get them out forcefully on your own. I mean, you could do it yourself if you're a big, strong guy, or you're aggressive and you want to kick them out yourself. You're legally in your right to do so. But if you want to you don't want to get your hands dirty and you want to go through the courts, it's going to take a long time.
Just ask your attorney.
Yeah. ask this Jose, not this Jose. Yeah, I'm the worst advice. Okay. Anyways, all right. Okay. I think. Let me see what other questions. I think that's about it. Let me skip all the way to the bottom. Cool. I think that's it. I think we've covered it all. Is there anything you want to say to the audience? I think before we go, let's just.
No, I mean, as always, this has been very, very entertaining, and being with you guys, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much. I know some of you might send an email or ask some questions. Feel free to do it. I love answering. If it's something easy, boom, I will just answer it. If it takes more time, then feel free also to ask for a consultation, and we can see how the agenda is. But thank you, and thank you again, bro.
Yeah, no worries, man. And again, if you want to know more about immigration, check out the last live stream, okay? Again, I'll put links down below. The last live stream that we did, and we talked about everything immigration-wise, and again, he can help you out with everything immigration-wise. Today's episode, we talked about real estate. Again, reach out to him for that. And in the future, we're going to be talking about other subjects, okay? And again, you can always reach out to him. All the information is down below, and he's more than happy. In fact, he's waiting. He's going to go running home right now, so he can whip his computer to wait for you guys, to email him or ask him questions like you guys always do. And he'd be more than happy to represent you and help you guys out and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, with that being said, guys, you already know the deal. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share, but more importantly than anything else, please stay awesome. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. All right. Bye, guys. Peace. All right, I'm just going to end it here. All right? I don't want to, all right.